So not so long ago, I was hanging out reading Swedenborg, and I could see my reflection. I caught my reflection in some glass, and I had this thought, I look weird and ugly. The kicker is that I couldn't say, no, I don't, because I could see it right in front of me. It was there and it was true. So here I was with the truth against me and against my happiness and against my value as a human being. But the Swedenborg that I was reading right then just happened to have this line in it. One is not to think about truths that come from anywhere but the Lord. And that seems strange and abstract. And what are you talking about? Truth that comes from somewhere but the Lord. There's truth and then there's not truth. So to demonstrate this, I will give you a play in 3 acts, or maybe it's 1, I don't know how many acts we want to break it up into, but there's characters, and first we've got to establish our characters, and we need to start with the Lord. So let's pick out something here that could represent the Lord. How about something alive? All right, now we need our truth that doesn't have the Lord in it. How about an upside down dustpan? Imagine this truth is suddenly sitting right across from the Lord, who is obviously the coolest, most powerful, most loving, everything, remember, that you put in there. Okay, go ahead, say that. Say, what are you going to say? Curtis looks weird and ugly? Go ahead, say it. Imagine what it'd be like to try to say that in the presence of the Lord. You automatically, immediately know there's something out of sync here. That truth does not have the Lord within it. Does God think anybody looks weird? Well, whose fault is it that we look like we do? This is the Lord was designing us, both the physical body, which we're in now, and then the spirit. And the Lord mapped out the fact that we would all have these weaknesses and strengths, and that physical material could affect everything about us. But when the Lord looks at you, because the Lord looks at all of us all the time, what does the Lord think? That we look weird? No. It's ridiculous. The Lord thinks we look just like we're supposed to look. And the more you love somebody, the more they look great. And so probably we all look awesome to the Lord. If the Lord thinks that, the Lord is the center of gravity, that opinion counts for more than millions of dustpans, or even just one dustpan. And is it true? Is anybody, think about the implications behind just that feeling of like, oh, you look weird. What is that saying? It's got this whole string of things that implies. That our value is based on how we look, that the people who don't have much, that there's certain people that are disposable in various ways, that life is this hierarchy. You can pick apart that, wait a second, what's in something that doesn't have the Lord in it? It might seem like it's accurate when you go back the first 2 layers, but when you start to understand its implications all the way back to reality and what things are really doing, it's not true at all. So this has gone from a weird Swedenborgism to an awesome barometer that I use, that I use for all kinds of things. Because now it's this easy, pull it out of your back pocket, something that claims that it's true is disruptive. Does it come from the Lord? When I'm thinking that about that person, is the Lord inside that? Just saying that, once you start to build up what that phrase means to you, is the Lord inside that? When you hear something about yourself, is the Lord inside that? When some idea about the way that life is going to unfold or the way that reality is the Lord in that? Does that square, would that come out of the Lord's mouth? The Lord is not holding back on that stuff because, it's true, but it would be mean to say, it's not true. The Lord is truth. And I want to make this an upside down dustpan because dustpans are cool. They just got to be this way. So you think about the difference between something that seems like it's factually accurate but doesn't acknowledge the reality that love and wisdom, which is what the Lord is, which is what God is at the heart of everything, and that trumps everything else in life. When you acknowledge that, then all these outer observations and judgments and knowings that we have, they can be open to serving the Lord. Just like this is, you got to have this outer layer. You got to be able to sweep up dust and organize things. But if you lose sight of the Lord when you're in that, you're going to have all kinds of missteps. And we're going to come away with this aggravating mindset where we're saying, well, this is true. It doesn't help anything, but it's just the truth. It's the truth by itself isn't enough. It's the truth that comes from the Lord. So that's why we ain't supposed to think about any truth that doesn't come from the Lord. So whether we look weird or not is not the issue, is not the truth. The truth is that we got to get, that the point of life is getting to a place where I don't care if I just hope I look exactly like I need to help the Lord do whatever the Lord needs to do. And I don't care how other people look. I'm going to love them exactly as much no matter what, because that's the truth. You barely control how you look, and it doesn't matter. How you look does not reflect on how much you need love. So it clicks. And it's awesome. And it's great to think of, okay, the plant is over your shoulder. What's the Lord thinking about this? So let's go out there and fill up the dustpans of the minds with some beautiful, okay, my metaphors are really breaking down here.